Welcome to Aligned and Soulful Leadership. My name is Kavita Melwani, and I empower soulful, multicultural women of color to opulently shine their light without the hustle. I truly believe you can fulfill your soul's desire without losing yourself, your health, or your life in the process. I know that you can ignite your confidence and know your worth, all while walking your divine, unique path. So in this podcast, I will dive deep into topics, challenges, and blocks that women of color experience as they rise up into their aligned life and work. My deep desire is that BIPOC women can lead through their inner wisdom in a way that honors their soul. Are you ready to rise up as the leader you were born to be? Then this podcast is for you. Are you a person that tends to make New Year's resolutions? So we are at that point where we tend to look and reflect at our lives and then make choices of how we want to be different. And the traditional way to do this is through New Year's resolutions. Unfortunately, most people set New Year's resolutions and then in a couple weeks, maybe you make it to mid-February if you're lucky, those all fall off and you go back to your old patterns. So if this is the case for you, and it is for most people, then I have some help for you today in this week's episode. So New Year's resolutions don't work for a few reasons. And I'm just going to go through 2 reasons that most likely why your New Year's resolutions don't work. So the first reason they may not be working for you is that you are setting too large of a goal. So, when we set goals, we get excited, especially in the beginning of the year with the energy, and then we set these goals for ourselves. So when you set these goals, are these goals really attainable? And if they are attainable, then are they broken down enough so that you can move forward in the direction of the goal? For instance, you may have the goal, which a lot of people do in the beginning of the year, to lose weight. And I know, especially this last year, a lot of people have, with being home, with the quarantine, with less movement, have added a few pounds, right? So if you're in that situation and you start the new year off and you say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. So you start to change everything that you can. You start saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day and I am going to eat no carbs or whatever those things are that you choose, right? And so then you go all in, you do that. And then after a while, you don't see the results and you tend to drop off. Okay, so that's just a quick example, but you can hopefully see a couple things that are happening there, right? So first, the goal is so large, right? And then all the changes that you're making are so sudden, right? And for some people, that doesn't work. For some people, it does. For some people, in order for them to make a change, they need to make a drastic change and they need to do it right now. So for other people, it is about the changes that are going to happen. They need to be gradual, right? And you need to be motivated by seeing the results. And for others, it is about accountability, and the accountability to others, that's going to motivate, right? So there's a lot of different pieces that go along with the success that comes with people who set their goals and actually accomplish them, and people that set goals and keep setting the same ones every year. And I'm using the word resolution because of the time of year, right? But it could be a goal too. A second reason why your New Year's resolutions may not be working for you is that you are basing your New Year's resolutions on what you think you should be doing and what you think you should be behaving and how you think you should be looking. So basically, you're setting your resolutions based on what you perceive as the way things should be. And so this may be based, especially if you spend a lot of time with others and family this past holiday season, you may have, felt not so great about certain aspects of your life and then chosen to make changes because of that. And so the motivation, right, is not really in alignment with who you are and what you want. And so when you have goals that are really not what you truly want and you're not in alignment with who you want and what you want, then you're less likely to achieve those goals, because when it starts to get difficult, what is really going to motivate you? So those are a couple reasons why New Year's resolutions don't always work, and they don't work for most people. And I'm going to go through actually one more reason. Another reason they may not be working for you is because you are not clear about how you achieve goals. So there's a lot of books out there, right? That are helping with goal setting and habit forming. One of them, Atomic Habits. I'll have the link in the show notes. There's a lot of books out there to help you, right? And the reality is we each have our own different kind of formula, let's say, of what works for us to achieve a goal. And that may be actually different based on what the goal is. For some people, their physical body and how it looks and the size and all that may not be really a motivator. And for others, that's an extreme motivator. And so it really seeing what are the motivating factors, and then actually your motivating factors and what is underneath that, and actually what keeps you going. What has worked for you in the past when it comes to accomplishing your goals? So that kind of starts the process of me telling you what you should do instead of setting New Year's resolutions. So the first thing to do is to really take a look and really look inward of what you want. So earlier in last episode, a couple episodes ago, I talked about how you want to feel, right? And going from there. And so you can do the same for this. And part of that is to reflect back over the last couple years and see what's been working well for you and what you want to change, right? So really that kind of self-reflection piece. And then what is it that you want moving forward? And as much as you can, separating that noise, right? The noise of the influence of the people around you who love you, right? They do love you and they care about you, and they have their own biases that they bring to those scenarios, right? And so how can you separate what the people that love you are telling you should be doing, how you should be living, how you should be looking, your relationship should be, and all that? How do you separate those shoulds from the part of you that knows that that's not who you are and that's not in alignment with who you are? And I know with a lot of women of color in their culture of origin, there's even more entanglement and more kind of blurry boundaries that are happening, right? And so there's things that, how do they say that everyone's in your business? And that might be the normal part of the culture, your culture of origin. And so especially if you're coming back from some time with family, we can start to go back to those patterns. So it's really important to recognize that, right? And see where you are and what is it that you want moving forward. And so that is the first step, right? Seeing what you really want. And actually, for many people, this is extremely difficult because they are unable to separate what they want from what they think they should have or they think they should want, and what their family and friends think they should want and have. And so if you're not able to separate that, then this is where you need to focus first. And so I love helping people, and I've helped so many people clarify their vision, like really be clear about what you want, separating those, as they say, shoulds from what your alignment is, what your authenticity tells you to do, and how you're meant to function in the world. And then once you are clear about that, then I can help you. And you, if you are already clear, you can set those goals and those actions. But the vision is the higher level of that. And so if you don't know what you want, you don't have a vision, then you're actually creating from your subconscious conditioning and programming. And so that is, we have the estimated 20 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And so those thoughts are coming from our conditioning. And if you don't have a vision, then even more of those thoughts are coming from that, right? So when you consciously choose a vision versus just having a vision based on all that, that kind of mess of information from the shoulds, then that is what's you're feeding your brain and your goals, right? So really creating the vision, because you have one anyway. Let me be clear. You have a vision. Now, is that vision one you want? Is that one that you consciously have created? Is that in alignment with you? And maybe that the vision that you have was in alignment with you a few years ago, but now is no longer in alignment with you. And that doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it different, and you've evolved and changed. So that's great. So that vision is really important, because from there, you can then channel that into the goals, and then breaking down those goals into actionable steps that you can take. And it is helpful to have a guide, to help a mentor to walk you through those pieces. And some people are great at doing that on their own. So why, besides being able to set goals that are meaningful, why else should you have a vision? Well, because when you have a vision and you're actually taking steps and taking action, there's a deeper purpose behind that. And that's motivating. And that's going to keep you going for the long term. It's going to keep you going beyond a couple months, beyond a couple weeks, right? That internal motivation, that's true why of why you're doing things, is going to keep you moving forward when it gets difficult. And the other part is, as a vision, with your vision, then you can start to choose what to put into your subconscious mind. Because our brain chooses data to confirm what we already believe. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you believe that the only way that you can achieve a certain amount of income is if you have a list of 5 jobs, let's say, right? Then your brain is going to find data to confirm that is true. On the other hand, if you are open and you say, I know there has to be another way, and those 5 paths are not for me, they're not in alignment with my soul and my mission in this world, then you're opening up to more possibilities, and your brain is going to start to notice what some options are for you, right? So if you don't use your subconscious, if you don't consciously choose, your subconscious mind will choose for you, and it's going to be based on conditioning. And a lot of that conditioning happened before the age of 7, and it happens all the time by things that we consume, right? So things we hear, things we may not even be consciously understanding that we're consuming, right? So TV, commercials, social media, billboards, what other people talk about, just the list can go on and on. If you read books, podcasts, like all the things that you're putting in your mind are conditioning you, right? And if you're choosing that conditioning, you're choosing to continue to condition yourself based on what you were taught as a child, and that's no longer in alignment with you, then that can create this disharmony, right? So instead of consciously choosing what you want, the visioning, what you want to believe, and then you can also choose what to consume. Okay, and so that is really important as well. Okay, so just to review a little bit, why you should have a vision, because that'll keep you motivated, and you can set goals that are actually in alignment with yourself. and then using your subconscious mind to support you in moving forward. And then you can choose consciously about what you want to believe and what you want to notice and see in the world. And when you do that, the possibilities are opening up for you. Okay, so one way to be clear about the vision, if that's you're having difficulty with that, is through visualization, as the visualizations can help to calm our conscious mind so that we can access the subconscious. And that is something that I love doing with clients. And another way to do that is to do some journaling, to work with a mentor. And, really the main key here is to spend some time, energy to go inward and connect with yourself so you are sure about what you want. Okay. So now I have a free abundance visualization that I'd love to share with you to help you with this process. So there will be a link in the show notes for the abundance visualization. And there's a worksheet that comes along with that to help you start in this process. And you can use that abundance for visualization for abundance of money, abundance of love, right? Whatever you choose that word abundance to direct you to. Okay, so you can go ahead and download that in the show notes. And then I have a special offer, which has to do with creating your business vision for the upcoming year. So this is something that I've done with clients in the past and often include as part of programs. But I was called to, because of all the changes that have been happening these last couple of years, to create this as something that I can offer and help more people. So I'm excited to be able to offer this to you. So what this is going to entail is it's going to take about a month to 5 weeks. And in that time, we are going to work to first clarify your business vision. We're going to reflect on the last couple of years. If you have that information, some people come to me when they're just starting their business. And then we work on creating that alignment, that plan for the next year ahead. And so that you have like a blueprint to help you move forward in this year. And you know that these goals are in alignment with you. Okay. And so, like I said, I usually offer this as part of a program, and I'm offering this as standalone. And I am offering it at an investment that I feel would allow me to help as many people as I can. And so it is actually quite a bit lower than I usually would charge for something like this. But like I said, I'm just feeling called to help so many people, as many people as I can, to create this vision, because the more of us that we can be on this path to consciously creating our lives, to consciously creating businesses that serve the world, that are purposeful and soulful and aligned, the better the world's going to be. So if you're interested, I have a link in the show notes as well. You can schedule a complimentary call with me. We'll just hop on the phone, see if it's a good fit, and I'll give you all the details. There's a link that will be in the show notes. I am excited to do this, and I hope you are able to consciously create your vision, whether it's through the abundance visualization that I'm offering for free to all of you, or if that is through this special offer I have, or if you just plan to do it on your own. Just consciously choose your life. You can do it. I believe in you. So until next time, take good care. Bye. Thank you for joining me for Aligned and Soulful Leadership. I was inspired to start this podcast as a way to empower women of color to rise up into their aligned leadership. Remember, I will have all the resources I mentioned during this episode available in the show notes at alignedandsoulfulpodcast.com. I'm your host, Kavita, and if you enjoyed this podcast, please tell your friends. And if you haven't received my free abundance meditation and exercise, then go to alignedandsoulfulleadership.com and subscribe to my newsletter, and you will receive this powerful visualization and exercise to ignite your abundant life. Thank you. Until next time, take good care. Bye.